안녕하세요. 오늘은 제 채널을 이렇게 찾아와 주셔서 너무 감사합니다. If you want to start learning Korean faster, this video is for you. Korean is one of the most difficult languages to learn for English speakers, including people who speak English, French, Portuguese, Spanish. It takes 2,200 hours. I'm Japanese and born and raised in Japan, and currently I can speak English, Japanese, Korean, and I'm working on my fourth language, German. 오늘은 한국어를 어떻게 효율적으로 그리고 재미있게 배울 수 있는지 몇 가지 팁을 알려드리려고 합니다. 저는 처음 한국어를 독학으로 배웠고 그 다음에 한국 유학을 1년 갔다 왔습니다. I started learning Korean in 2018 and went to Korea to study Korean language. Today I would like to talk about how I studied Korean by myself before I went to Korea. And also I would like to talk about how I learned Korean while I was studying abroad and what I learned from these experiences. And the main topic would be what was the most effective method and what was actually not. Also, most of the tips I talk about today don't cost. All you need to prepare is your phone, your energy, and your motivation to learn Korean. As always, I put timestamps down below so that you can skip ahead that interests you. I'll talk about motivation, listening, and mimicking. Let's get started. Number 1. Keep your motivation. You know what? Motivation is a key. It is the most important thing when you learn a new language. It takes time. You need to put in so much effort. If you don't like it, you can't keep consistency. You will end up giving up or burn out. So I often do keep finding my motivation when I learn a new language. Motivation could be anything, to be honest. For example, because my partner is Korean, I want to talk to Korean idols in Korean. I've got those friends a lot actually. I was also the one who was saying I want to be like a Korean actor. I want to understand what they're saying without subtitles. I actually met quite a lot of language learners, especially in the language school. The people who really enjoying their language journey grow and improve their language skill faster. I was also enjoying it, so I didn't feel any difficulties. I'm tired of learning Korean. I feel unmotivated. Also, the thing I'm really grateful was that I had friends who were learning the same language and work on it hard together. They were like my language learning buddies. Even though I faced difficulties, I talked to them and they were really supportive. And sometimes we faced the same difficulties. Every time I felt down, I went straight to meet my friend and talk to them and discuss how we can improve this and how to pursue. For most people, motivation is important. But some people don't rely on their motivation. They make it part of their daily routine. Making it part of your daily routine, instead of finding your motivation, is also a great way to stay committed. But when it comes to motivation, it's the same as reminding yourself your reason why you start this journal. So keep it in your mind why you start your journey and make it part of your daily routine. Or keep finding your motivation. To remind yourself your reason, write it down on the paper or speak out loud from your mouth and remind yourself that reflects yourself. One of the people I respect a lot, he said, life is full of obstacles and sometimes I feel down, but every time I face challenges, I reflect on myself and see what my real goal is, why I started this journey. Some people say learning languages is just a talented people thing, but I would say motivation is the key. Find your exciting reason to stay committed. Number 2, listening every day. I listen to Korean every day. For example, before I going to school, after coming home from school. I spent over an hour a day watching Korean dramas or YouTube videos of someone talking in Korean. The reason that I think this is the best way to learn Korean is because you'll be able to have conversation in Korean quickly. Since I was a student at that time, I couldn't even go on trip and visit native speakers and also local people. So I used applications to talk to them. Also, I really like talking to people. I found this really fun. So I recommend this method to people who really want to focus on their speaking, listening, and having conversation. In Korean, there are some slight differences in the way women speak and men speak, and the way they pronounce the words is different from the way they write. This is the same across all languages. So, for example, in Korean, 사인, they actually pronounce 사인, 불었어, 불었어. By the way, did you hear the difference? 사인, 불었어, 불었어. so you can learn exactly how people pronounce words in a daily conversation. I prioritize speaking and listening more rather than writing, because these days people often use digital tech like a typing more, even the business scene. But instead, I write it down on a paper like sort of lyrics of my favorite songs, and I just do it in my free time, like whenever I want. Number 3, mimicking. Imitating something you really like can transform your pronunciation skill and also intonation skill. What really motivates me the most was the moment I'd been told, "Are you Korean? Your pronunciation is good." Like those compliments getting from native speakers. People often realize the improvements of pronunciation skills more compared to other skills of improvements. Also, I realized it is quite hard to monitor my progress, so being told other people also allowed me to check my progress, and at the same time, it motivates me a lot. I also uploaded a video on how to do mimic and shadowing on my first video. I'll link it down below, so if you're interested, please check it out. But this time, I'll show you how I do it in Korean.
그리고 저는 초등학교 때부터 컴퓨터를 접하고 야후 꾸러기 게임이랑 저희 반에서 유행했던 조이시티 해피시티까지 막 하게 됐어요. 그리고 전 중학생이 됐습니다. 네, 그냥 됐습니다. 교복도 엄청 커가지고 휘적휘적거리면서 또 부모님 말을 진짜 잘 듣는 학생이었고 매일 엄마가 내주시는 숙제로 자습을 했어요. 이때 친구랑 마비노기에 빠져가지고 연보라 새우머리를 한 캐릭터가 기억나네요. 그리고 숙제를 다 하면 컴퓨터를 1시간 할 수 있었습니다.
According to the Cambridge Dictionary, shadowing is to follow someone else while they're at work in order to learn about that person's job. As you can see, if you find some words you don't know, you should stop and check the dictionary. I often write it down on the paper so that I can review on the next day. I do it until it becomes perfect that I can speak exactly the same tone and the same speed. Number 4, conversation with native speakers. I realized when I talk to local people, I can learn about their personality, their culture, their way of thinking, what kind of expressions they use, etc. It is really essential to understand the country in a deep level so that you can connect with its language. I also experienced that when I have the knowledge about the country, or if I have the topics to share with them, it's often easy to start conversation with them, and I feel more comfortable with talking with them. To talk to them and get to know them, I often use the language exchange applications like HelloTalk and Instagram. So it is also possible to talk to them through applications. If I didn't do output, I wouldn't be able to grow myself and monitor my progress. Of course, there are other methods I also tried. Read letters. This was the first thing I did when I started learning Korean. To be honest, reading Korean is much easier compared to other languages. I mastered reading Korean within a week. If you would like to know how to do it, please leave a comment and let me know, because I can make videos. Make sentences. This will help you to grow your grammar skill. I recommend this one to people who are at advanced level. Read stories out loud. You can also practice reading in Korean. If you like reading books, I highly recommend this method. Reading out loud is way much more effective to improve your facial muscles to be fluent in that language. But I personally didn't like memorize words from a vocabulary books. I'm not good at this. Even though I tried memorizing a lot of vocabulary from the books, I will easily forget it if I don't use it. So it is much better to pick up words from some scenes that I enjoyed watching, so that I can memorize a scene and words at the same time. I also input some words from the scene so that I easily can use in a daily life as an output of my language skill. Here is a summary. Number 1, keep your motivation. Number 2, listening every day. Number 3, mimicking, shadowing. Number 4, conversation with native speakers. These 4 methods are much enjoyable and efficient to me, so I really recommend them all. But as I always say, if you don't do it the way you really like, or you can't enjoy it, it will be quite hard and it will be a long way to go. So enjoy the process, enjoy your journey. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!